Why social anxiety and autism don't mix. I've been trying to live a good life without being bothered by people for at least 10 years. Now, a little bit of backstory, maybe you can relate, but I worked in the restaurant industry for over 20 years. And if I wasn't working in restaurants, I was working in landscaping or construction. And all of these places had lots of people with differing opinions. Now, I'm a high functioning guy with autism, and I self diagnosed in 2016. And when I self diagnosed, it was like my whole life made sense instantly. So if you're wondering if you have autism, I suggest you take the test. I'll leave a link under this video. But so I almost died from drinking. Drinking was my biggest crutch for the longest time. Alcohol made me feel immortal. It made me feel like I was life of the party. Okay, it made me feel like the rock star I always wanted to be, but I never made it. You know, I was a rock and roll drummer, but I never got out of that garage band stage. And so alcohol was kind of like the delusional way of thinking I was the rock star. I lived in a converted school bus. I had these massive 5 foot tall PA speakers, and I used to blare, new metal all day long. I used to invite the homeless over, and they thought I was God, because at that point in my life, I was drinking so much, no one else would hang out with me except for the homeless, people that drank just as much as me. And I'd invite them over and just blare like Limp Bizkit. And even the deaf hobo from Haight Ashbury was like, he could feel the vibrations. He was like, decent, and it was just awesome. It was a great time, but eventually alcohol turns against you. And it took everything from me, even music. I mean, there was a point where my dopamine levels are so low that I was like, I got irritated listening to jazz. I mean, it was really bad. I was just rocking back and forth in a dark room at the end of my drinking. But when I got sober, I I got rid of all my friends because they were all drinking friends. And so I just isolated. I just self-isolated. And a couple years into sobriety, I went over to my parents' house. I used to go over there every Sunday for dinner. It was kind of a nice thing to do. And I love this neighborhood. This is my office. There's like no one around. 5 acres. Beautiful house. 10 years of work, baby. But anyways, I went over to my parents' house, and 2 years into sobriety, and I guess all the skeletons were coming out of the closet subconsciously. A lot of stuff that I was running from my whole life. Running from using all my coping skills. I was a master at coping skills. I used to rock back and forth, which is called stimming. I used to listen to heavy metal. I used to masturbate, used to eat sugar. Then I smoked cigarettes. I drank coffee. I drank a lot of alcohol. I had a coping mechanism for everything. But when I got sober, it was just me against reality. And I guess all this stuff came up. And I went to my parents for dinner, and I had a panic attack in front of my parents. I mean, I turned deathly white. Beads of sweat rolled down my face. I thought I was having a heart attack. Another one. I already had one for real when I was 32 from alcohol withdrawals. And my dad was like, "What's wrong?" And I was just like, "I gotta lay down." And after that, I was scared of my own parents. I mean, it was crazy. And then they say that you can get panic disorder, which means that you don't want to go back to the environment that caused that panic. So the following week, I was scared. I was like, I don't know if I can go back to dinner. And you can get a lot done by being honest with people. And I told my parents, and my mom was like, "Don't be silly. We're your parents." Let me just sit down here. "Don't be silly. We're your parents," which didn't make me feel any better. I was like, well, I don't know. I can't control these feelings. I feel I feel this sense of fear I've never felt around people. So eventually Misha and I moved out of that town, and my parents are across country now. And I've been doing a lot of hypnosis and affirmations, reprogramming my brain. So when I see them now, I feel pretty solid. I do everything before they come. I meditate, I call in the archangels, call in the Holy Spirit, do like 3 hours a day of self-talk, affirmations, hypnosis, confidence hypnosis. And so that's not a problem anymore. But I still, even our neighbors, we just moved here 3 months ago, and our neighbors are like, hey, let's have a cocktail and let's chat. And I'm like, finally, I was just like, I'm a extreme introvert and I don't drink. We don't drink. She's like, that's fine. You can have a mocktail. I'm like, okay, cool. And we never went over there. But anyways, so yeah, it's been like 10 years almost 13 years of no friends. And all my friends are online. And you guys are the best. Keep leaving the comments because you're helping me, and I know I'm helping at least a couple of you with my journey with autism and sobriety. Some guy left a comment 2 days ago that he couldn't stop bawling. He said he couldn't stop crying, and I think I allowed him to realize that he had autism, and what happened to me happened to him. He had a flash of realization, and his whole life made sense within minutes. A catalyst. And so it's okay if you have social anxiety. You can design your own life the way you want, and if people can't handle it, then they should go away. I'm a master at blocking people. And my old friends, they were easy to get rid of. I just ignored them and they went away. And I just, when I got sober, I worked two jobs, and then I discovered internet marketing, and I've always wanted to make money ever since I was a kid. There's a certain power with becoming financially free, at least I thought. And so I just dove all into making money online, internet marketing. And now this is the way I live. I just do videos all day long talking to you guys, and there's no one around bugging me. I don't have a boss that's like, do this and do that. And I got PTSD from restaurants, man. Going to work, drinking all night, and going through alcohol withdrawals at work around these loud coworkers, cutting cases of onions when your eyes are dry from drinking all night. Screw that. Every day that I work from home is a middle finger to all the restaurant bosses, all the landscaping bosses that were mean to me. And so, yeah, that's my life, is working from home 1 hour a day, talking to you guys, trying to inspire you as I inspire myself. And I like sharing my stuff with you, being transparent. And I'm 51 now, and even in my 20s, I couldn't wait until I got older, because I thought I'd get more respect when I got older. And I do. When I go to a grocery store now, they call me sir. A lot of people call me sir now, and I don't know if that's from my hypnosis, my confidence training, or just I'm holding myself different. And it does help when you're making, a lot of money online, and you have an organization of 30,000 people around the world on your team. That's kind of cool. And people call you Diamond Leader, which is pretty cool. So yeah, social anxiety it's a drag. I spent many years still scared of my parents, and if anyone was like, hey, let's hang out, I even do my online business a certain way. I won't get on Zooms. I won't do Facebook Lives. I won't do 3-way calls. I won't do hotel meetings or home parties or none of that stuff, and I still made it. And the way you make it is you just get traffic to a link, basically. And so yeah, life is good, but you know, it's still lonely. That's why I do these videos. This is pretty much my only outlet. I mean, thank God I still have Misha. After 13 years, we're still together, and we don't drink, and we're in a new place. So we're going to go out to these cute little restaurants and act like normal people, and feel wealthy, and go dream building by, you know, looking at new cars and new homes, and start feeling like the upper class. And you know, life is a trip, you know, because 13 years ago I was sleeping on a mattress full of urine, pissing the bed every single night. I didn't even change the sheets anymore because I was pissing my bed so much, and beer cans all over the floor. And my only friend was that homeless guy from next door who they called Animal because his hair was long and stringy and greasy like the Muppets drummer, Animal. And he just grunted. I mean, that was my only friend at the end of my drinking journey, was a guy that was like, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. So life's a trip. Don't take it too seriously, though, guys. Leave a comment. Did this relate to you anyway? I love connecting with people that are like, dude, you just told my story. I can't believe it. I thought I was the only one that rocked back and forth. I thought I was the only one that had autism and rocked back and forth and listened to new metal music. You know, that's a trip. That's the power of video. Anyways, love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.